You've been thinking it, but you haven't been hearing it. So get ready, because it's live, and things might get a little messy. Don't hold back, spit it out with Jayson Yessir. And now your host, Jayson Yessir.
Alrighty then. Alright, what's up? It's your boy Jayson Yessir. What up? I don't know what that was about, but I'm getting back into my rap career. Maybe not. Just kidding. Oh my goodness, I just pushed record on this camera and you guys are getting this raw as can be. Just gonna say it is currently 10:16 p.m. Tuesday night, couple of hours before this goes live. So your boy is going to be working extra hard to make sure this goes up on time for you guys to go ahead and listen and enjoy. But I've just been doing so much at this moment, trying to get this together. This episode, I literally put this stuff up behind me right before I pushed record on the button as well. I didn't even get to check how I'm looking. Like, what the am I doing right now? Seriously, I was not going to wear this. This was not the outfit for this week's podcast. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I'm just trying to check this out. If you guys are watching youtube.com/Jayson Yessir. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Just getting up, push record. My hair look a mess. I look a mess, but it is what it is. Speaking of looking a mess, oh my goodness. So, if you guys ever questioning how you look or, you know, need some advice or whatever, the person that's probably, not the person, the people that you should probably reach out to and ask these type of questions to, or you might not even have to ask them because I didn't have to ask them. No, but it's so funny. I think getting the opinions from your grandparents is always something. And the reason why I say that is the other day, I'm on the phone. I actually had called my dad, and he happened to be at my grandma's house. So I was like, hi, hello, and it was on a video chat. So we're talking for a little bit and stuff, and it was so funny because I was actually thinking about her a couple days beforehand, and then when I happened to call him, he was there at the house. And I've been meaning to call her. It's just I've been super busy with everything going on and what I've talked about in the past in the last episode, and we're not going to get into all that because you guys already know what I'm speaking of course, if you've been here before and you're listening. Now, she gets on the phone and first off, she's like, whoa, like, what's up with the black eyes? My black eyes. I got bags under my eyes, my black eyes. I'm like, I've been moving. I've been doing stuff. I've been busy. You know, I haven't been getting much sleep. Last night I stayed up late. I didn't get much sleep. And then she also was like, oh, you don't look as sick. I was like, excuse me? I don't look as sick. Okay. No, but I know where she's come from. But I was just like, you basically called me like a dying raccoon, pretty much. Said how sickly I looked in the past, and now I look better. Well, that's good. I guess progress is always good. Now I'm looking better. But yeah, you said the bags under my eyes, I look sickly, everything. I'm like, you calling me a raccoon or something? No, but it made me just realize how straightforward, I think just in general, like older people, once you, the older you get and stuff, you know, you just start really telling it like it is. Some people do that from the start, like your boy Jayson Yessir. No, but I think as you grow up too, you begin to give less of a fuck. I don't know what it is, and you just, you know, but they mean well. I can't say she was meaning well, or at least I believe so. She just said exactly how she felt and gave her opinion on what she thought I looked like. No, but I love her and everything, and I can't agree anymore. I did look back at some pictures, and I was like, your boy was skinny. Even that, like, see, this is should I get into it? I guess I can. It's me by myself. We got the lights dim low. No, the lighting situation is something. If you guys are watching, it's gonna be fixed at some point. I just have it temporarily. Like I said, everything was the last minute as I went ahead and started this. So we're just gonna deal with what we got. But you're gonna see the next couple of weeks some couple more changes. If you look closely and compare it to last week's video, obviously it's a different. We're in a new studio, you know, a different place. We've relocated, and actually the painting behind me, I rotated it so it's no longer landscape. It's now in portrait mode. If you guys are all familiar with that, but more changes will be coming. Certain things I'm going to be changing up, switching. I also am going to put something in here probably to like soundproof it more. I don't know if it sounds bad to you guys or the audio, how it is. Comment below. Comment below. It's a YouTube video. Well, it is if you're watching YouTube. Comment below. But also you can go ahead to JaysonYessir.com or any other social platforms and let me know what you think. But I think I'm going to kind of hang up a couple more, less of an echo and kind of soundproof it. Right now, there's a couple of things in this room that won't be here, so it would probably even cause more of echo. But anyways, besides all of the technical stuff that you guys don't care for, I did want to get into, oh my goodness. So I felt like I was just speaking of something else and I forget. That's the thing about doing a podcast with so many things to talk about and things that, you know, I have to get through on my list or whatever that I put down, but not having somebody here to like keep me accountable and make sure that I'm on track and not forget that I started one subject and now I'm moving on to the next subject without finishing the conversation. So totally sorry about that, because I feel like I was just speaking about something else, but now if you ask me, I can't even remember. So we're going to get into what I want to really speak about. I mentioned it on the podcast before, and I didn't grab it. Damn, I'm not going to get up now and walk away, but I'll have to show it another time. As you guys are familiar, if you don't know, the Proud Family Louder and Prouder was released on Disney Plus. It came out, and I did check it out. Now, the Proud Family, of course, was a show back in like 2000 and maybe like 4. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But a few years ago, well, more than a few years ago, at least like 15. And love the show. It's back now. Louder and Prouder. I got to check out the first episode. 2 episodes are out, but I didn't have time to see the second episode. So I seen the first episode, and I just want to say, first off, I'm enjoying it. Seeing the first episode, I thought it was good. I thought it was great. I'm enjoying it. And also, I love the way this show was always put together in the sense, and like the illustration also, I like it. But I like the writing of the show and how they reference things and make it so what's the word I'm looking for? Relatable. You can relate to things, and then, you know, common things that go on, and also you can relate to things. And then a lot of times too, there's like learning lessons in a lot of these episodes. Now, the first episode, Penny ends up waking up and she realizes now that she's older. So she wakes up, realizes that she's older. She's no longer the little girl. She's became now a grown woman, as I guess you can say. And she got a butt. She looks in the mirror, sees that she got a butt and stuff. But she wakes up, she realizes she's older, she goes downstairs. Now, the funny thing that I seen, I'm like, cool that they grew her up, because it obviously is, you know, it's a comeback of the original show. It's Louder and Prouder, so it's not like they introduced it still as the Proud. They did as the Proud Family, but they added to it, so it's a continuance of like what happened in the past. The only thing that I didn't really understand was why they didn't keep it consistent throughout all the characters and make them grow up. Only like her and her friends are grown up, and then her little brother and sister are kind of, but there's really not much. there's a lot of characters from the past that are still the same. A couple of new characters as well that we're introduced to, and then some old that will no longer be returning. So that sucks. But yeah, when I mentioned references, they do reference in there, as you guys probably seen in the trailer. So she comes down and she's dancing to Chloe and Holly Do It. You know the song "Do It"? That ain't how it goes, but she comes dancing to that. So they do play that, and that's what I mean by they reference like pop culture and just things that you can relate to and stuff. Now, Oscar Proud, the dad, I personally think that they should have at least gave him like a little salt and pepper hairstyle or something, a little gray in there. He looks the same. Can't really tell any difference at all of the ages that have passed. Same thing with the mom, Trudy. Can't tell. She looks the same as well. Now Bobby is it cousin Bobby? I believe so. He now has a little bit of a different look. He got highlights in his hair. Other than that, he looks the same. Not much of a difference. Then there's Sugar Mama the same, Poppy the same old good laugh, and then there's the two little ones, like I said, her little brother and sister, BB and Cece. Now, what I don't understand is they made them grow up just a tad bit, like just a little bit whatsoever, but nothing dramatic. And these two are still crawling around, and one's still wearing a diaper. So I'm like, how old are they supposed to be? It doesn't really make much sense to me. So I definitely want to see more of the old characters that come around. Well, they were showing a lot of the old ones in the first episode because we were still being reintroduced to like Dejanay, Zoe, La Cienega, and Dejanay also not much of a difference. Just looks a little grown. Zoe got taller. They do point that out in the first episode that she's much taller. And La Cienega got hairier, I guess, like hit puberty and now growing a mustache and stuff. So that was interesting. They did make a comment. Dejanay did say to La Cienega, like something about those are the I can't even speak. What is this always happen? Did mention about her sideburns and comparing them to Ashanti sideburns, and I was like, that's an old reference. Also, I think Ashanti's still around, but I don't know if many people necessarily growing up know of who she is or what she does or who she is. And she's making music now and she's acted in a couple things, so some people might, but like for that reference, I'm like, yeah, that probably went over some people's head. But I think this show, which I do enjoy, I think they made this show and wrote this show coming back for everyone who loved it in the past can still watch it and continue to love it. So there's references and things they point out in that layer, it clicks and you're like, oh, like it just it's for the older crowd. It's maybe not necessarily for the younger generation that's just getting into like an animated show, cartoon. This is obviously for those who used to watch it in the past, or so what it seems. This is just what I'm gathering from the first episode. The Grove Sisters, they're still in the show. That's what I actually wanted to bring out was my painting I would show. I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but I actually did a painting before of the Grove Sisters, and it's somewhere around in this house. And I was going to grab it and totally forgot before I pushed record to grab it. So my bad. Maybe I'll post it somewhere else or I'll just show it on next week. Sticky, now I don't know if you guys remember Sticky. It was who Dejanay was crazy about. She does mention Sticky, and they do make it known in the first episode that he's no longer around and he decided to move to Japan. And pretty much for the blame of Dejanay as to why he moved to Japan. Well, his dad got a job there or whatever, and then he decided to go even though he could stay, but it was to get away from her, or so they put it. Then there is some new friends introduced, as I mentioned. There's one that's going to be like part of her new circle, so probably I guess like replacing Sticky Spot, because Sticky Spot. Excuse me. There's Inner Circle, Dejanay, La Cienega, Zoe, and then there was Sticky, but now there's a guy named Michael who is actually like the new gay fashionista of the crowd. So I don't know. I wanted to see, there was an article that actually went out earlier today that I quickly seen, and I didn't get a chance to look into it, and it was talking about how Sticky was no longer part of the show, and I wanted to know what, if it was like true, or what the reason was, or what this article was stating. Like, I wish I would have read into it and I could have figured it out. But I'm like, did they get rid of him? Or maybe the person who used to voice him didn't want to come back or something, or I'm sure there's an actual reason why. But then I'm like, it's just funny now that they, like, since he's not coming back, they brought in a gay character. I'm like, okay, is this just another way of trying to prove, like, oh, we're being inclusive and bringing all these different communities and type of people? Not that the Proud Family wasn't, because they always were. I can say that. I feel like the Proud Family always did show culture and diversity and just us as human beings and people. Like, it was a predominantly black show. I will say that most of the cast on there and the characters, but then there was also a lot of, I want to say, well, there was Latino. I think they're considered to be Mexican on the show, but they did a couple of different cultures throughout, like the first, not season, I don't know what you would call it, the first release, the first part, when it was just the Proud Family. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. But anyways, then there's introduced another friend named Maya, who I'm pretty much sure it's voiced by Keke Palmer. I remember them saying Keke Palmer was joining this version of the Proud Family, and I believe she's the one who voices Maya. It sounds like her. Now, she's coming off as someone who's like, oh, save the animals type of person. And she like makes it known that she doesn't like Penny, and Penny's just trying to win her over. So that's what kind of goes down in the first episode, but I'm sure she'll stick around. She's also the sister of, damn, I forgot his name, but we're also introduced to a different character who, so I'll rewind real quick. I don't want to give the whole show away in case you guys want to watch it too, but I'm just kind of giving you a little rundown and all that and what I think about it. When Dejanay mentions Sticky's name, they're on their way to his house. They're like walking to his house. When she gets to the house, she knocks on the door, and what she thought, like, so the weird thing is too, they all haven't seen each other for so many years, because they all get back together and reunite, and they're like also amazed that one another is older and grew up. So that's why I'm like, maybe they'll explain it later on in the next episode or so, or maybe I just didn't pay attention fully to the first episode to figure out what the whole storyline and like basis of everything and how it was supposed to be told. But so they go on this journey to Sticky's house, and when they open the door, when the door is open, Dejanay's there and like, hey, Sticky, but it's not him, and she doesn't realize that because she just thinks that he grown up and he just looks different, but it's actually a whole different person. And he's the one that explains like, no, Sticky moved away. And she's like, when? And they literally show Sticky like in the car taking off at that exact moment. So anyways, the one who answered the door is the brother of Maya, the one voiced by Keke Palmer. So there's those two characters, and then Michael, like I said, that is all new, being introduced. And then later on in the episode, they continue on with some references. They did reference Solange, who, if you guys know, she's the one who made the original theme song. I believe she probably did this one too, I'm not sure, but I know the original theme song she did. And then they also like reference Amorosa. They did a couple of different references, that's what I'm saying. So it's like neat at the same time, but then it's also like kind of weird. One joke they did, which is old, was they had that character Michael point at Penny shoes and was like, what are those? And I was like, okay, but you could have done something different. That joke is now 5 years old. No, but it's just neat to see these things, and I don't know, it's just nice and like reminiscing back to the childhood and just seeing this show and stuff. It's great to know that it's came back, and it's good so far. I think it's good because you know how sometimes things could come back and you're like, if it's not going to be good or doesn't compare to the one before, don't come out with it at all. You know, like if it's not broken, why fix it? So I think this one they did a good job with, or at least so far is what I'm seeing. So yeah, check that out. Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. But anyways, let's go to a commercial break right now. We'll be right back. I got some more things to get into, and yeah, say no more.